The wind howled across the razor-sharp ridges of the Hesperides Mountains, its icy breath seeping through cracks in the ancient rock, rattling the frozen landscape below. What's the real reason this house was built, and why was it hidden for so long? This discovery will leave you speechless. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mind-blowing explorations and mysterious discoveries. Dr. Callan Ansell stood on the narrow ledge, his fingers gripping the rugged stone as his breath formed wispy clouds in the chill mountain air. He had been climbing for hours, pushing past his exhaustion, driven by a mission that seemed more elusive with every step. Callan wasn't here to conquer the mountain like so many before him. No, his journey was one of curiosity, of uncovering a mystery that had slipped through the cracks of history. 2 days earlier, his team had set up seismic sensors in the northernmost reaches of the glacier plateau. Their goal was straightforward: assess the area for potential rockslides, a routine job in such a volatile region. But what they hadn't anticipated was a disturbance, something neither Callan nor his team could easily explain. It began just after midnight on the second night, a rhythmic pulse, like the thumping of a heart deep within the mountain. It wasn't an earthquake. It wasn't any known natural phenomenon. But it was there, faint at first, then unmistakable. At 2:37 a.m., the readings shot off the charts, resembling the echoes one might expect from a hollow cavern, but there was no cavern in the location. Solid rock, no anomalies, no caves. The data was incomprehensible. Callan, a geophysicist, was intrigued. With caution but determination, he decided to investigate. What if this was a hidden cave, perhaps filled with minerals, or even preserved remnants of ancient life? But when he started rappelling down the cliffs the next morning, he wasn't prepared for what lay ahead. As Callan carefully descended the rock face, the weight of his pack pressed against his shoulders. He noticed something strange, a mark barely visible in the snow-covered ledge beneath him. A faint glint of light caught his eye. He called out to his colleague and fellow geologist, Layla Hawk, her voice crackling through his radio. "I found something," he said. "It's beneath me. I think it's a marker." Layla's voice crackled in response, urging him to use the drill, to break through just a few centimeters. Callan obeyed, pulling out his trusty compact drill, powered it up, and pressed it into the rock. It met some resistance, then, suddenly, gave way. The drill bit dropped freely into the stone, spinning wildly. He pulled back, almost losing his balance, his heart racing. "I think I found something." "A door," Callan said, breathless. By midday, the team had assembled at the site. They carefully cleared the stone dust, revealing a rectangular opening that shouldn't have existed in such solid rock. It was a perfect hole, unnaturally so. "What kind of door is this?" Layla whispered. "Who would build a house here?" No one had an answer. As they breached the door, cold, dry air rushed out, as if the space inside had been sealed for centuries. Inside, Callan's flashlight illuminated a room frozen in time. Dust-coated furniture, a stone hearth, still intact with a wooden table beside it. The remnants of a home, untouched by the ravages of time, as if it had only been abandoned yesterday. Layla picked up a journal from the table. The leather was cracked, but the pages inside were remarkably well preserved. The first page was blank, but the second contained words, faint but still legible. "To whoever finds this place, know this: I came here to be forgotten." The room was silent as the weight of the words sank in. The team stared, not knowing what to make of it. This wasn't just a house. It was a message, a story from the past left behind for someone to uncover. That evening, around the campfire, the team spoke little of seismic readings or geological anomalies. Instead, they shared stories of the strange house, the haunting words from the journal, and what might lie deeper within the mountain. Callan couldn't shake the feeling that the discovery wasn't just scientific. It felt almost spiritual. As the night wore on, Layla, her curiosity piqued, read further into the journal, stopping at an entry dated 1873. The mountain speaks to those who listen. It does not offer answers, only silence. But that is all one needs in the end. That night, Lila couldn't sleep. Her mind raced as she stared at the stars, feeling an inexplicable pull towards the mountain. The house wasn't just a relic, it was something more, something ancient. She felt it calling to her, as if the land itself was waiting for her to understand. The next day, the team returned, their minds now racing with questions. Kalen, ever the methodical scientist, instructed his team to scan every inch of the house with 3D imaging, mapping the structure in minute detail. Inside, they discovered more peculiarities. Drawings pinned to the walls, maps of the peaks surrounding them, and a strange symbol. A circle with a triangle inside it, a symbol that none of them recognized, yet it felt significant. "This place isn't just a house," Lila said softly. "It's a monument, a place of purpose." As they ventured deeper into the house, they discovered a hidden compartment beneath the hearth. Inside was another journal, even older than the first. Its leather was worn, its pages fragile, but its contents revealed a shocking truth. The writer was not just the builder of the house, but someone who had known of its purpose for decades. The journal's author, Lysander Vale, wrote of visions, of whispers beneath the mountain, and of a sacred place hidden in the stone. Lysander's brother, Elias, had dreamed of this place long before he died, and it seemed that the two had both been drawn to the mountain by something far greater than a mere desire for isolation. The more they uncovered, the more it became clear this was no ordinary home. It was a conduit, a bridge between the known and the unknown, between the living and the ancient spirits of the mountain. As Layla pored over the journals, she came to a startling realization. This place wasn't just built, it was designed. It was meant to be found. The stories, the maps, the journals, they were all pieces of a larger, unfinished puzzle. And now, Lila and her team were part of it. The morning after they uncovered the final journal, the temperature began to rise. The sensors picked up strange seismic activity, a tremor, localized yet intense. The mountain was alive. It was waking. Layla and Kalen discussed what to do next. They had to decide whether to share this discovery with the world or to keep it hidden, protected from the prying eyes of media and treasure hunters. But as the debate raged among the team, something shifted in the mountain. The ground trembled beneath them, and the walls of the house seemed to hum with energy. Kalen and Lila knew then that they weren't just dealing with a historical site. They were standing at the threshold of something far older, far more powerful than they could have imagined. Later, as they made their way to the cliffs, they found the entrance to the house blocked by a fresh rockslide. The path had collapsed, as if the mountain itself was warning them to stay away. When Layla stood before the stone house, holding the pendant of the ancient symbol in her hand, she realized that the secrets of the mountain were not meant to be exposed to the world. They were meant to be kept, preserved by those who understood their gravity. The media arrived the next day, eager to film and document their findings, but they found nothing. The path had vanished, and the house had been swallowed by the mountain once more. Layla, her heart heavy with the responsibility of what she had discovered, knew that some stories were not meant to be told in a way the world could understand. Some truths needed to be kept sacred, hidden in the silent embrace of the earth. Years later, Layla began to share her story, not as a scientific discovery, but as a tale of mystery, of reverence. Through anonymous writings, she passed the message on, hoping that others might one day understand the mountain's silent call. The world listened, not with their eyes, but with their hearts, and slowly, the legend of the silent keeper spread. One winter evening, Layla received a letter. No return address. Inside was a simple note. "I, too, have heard the silence. Thank you for sharing the story." And in that moment, Layla knew the mountain's memory was alive, not just in her, but in others who were willing to listen.